Call us to order at 6:03 p.m. Roll call. Deb's remote. Barb, Ron, Jason, and Paula.
I hear Paula, Ron, Deb, Jason.
That's it.
Mary's
Mary.
not coming.
Mary's not here.
No.
No, Mary.
I'm Barb.
Yes. Oh my God, I just went blank.
Is Mary not coming? Do we know?
I don't
She
know.
said in the text message, she said okay, but I don't
All
know.
right. She may show up.
Yeah.
There was a lot of traffic in South Fayette.
Yes, there was.
I use an alternate route. Approval of last month's minutes.
I move.
All right.
I'll second.
Motion approved. Persons requesting time and correspondence.
Hang on, can we go back for a quick second?
Sure.
About minutes, they've not been posted since April. Can we get posted?
Are you sure?
Ooh.
I was just on the website today looking at it, and there's no minutes posted for May, June, or July.
You know what my problem is I upload them right after you send them, but I don't want to post them until you guys approve them, and then I forget to go back in. I'll get it taken care of.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
There are no persons in attendance for time and correspondence, so we shall move on to the director's report.
I didn't a formal one together, but I'll kind of give you an update on a few things. July was great. We had lots of events. We had Touch a Truck. We had, unfortunately, our interns event, the Under the Stars, we just didn't get enough people registered for it. So we did cancel it, but he said he learned a lot and how it was a lot of work and promotion, he learned a lot about that. So it was still, good learning experience for him. The ball fields are moving along. Turf, they actually should be turfing like the infields, and you'll see turf being laid next week. And they're still on schedule for kind of end of September completion. I just always like
The
to,
new ball field?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I just always like to preface, so that means that they're done. Grass still has to grow in the outfields, so no one gets excited. But I did talk to baseball, maybe next spring, have the little kids practice on just the infields to still be able to utilize them, but, not using the grass. So, we might be able to get creative next spring to start using them in some capacity, yeah. The multi-purpose fields, I had hopes that we could start those this fall. Unfortunately, that's not possible anymore. I still have to fill in the Board of Commissioners this week at the meeting, but we have to put in for a modification to our NPDES permit, which is through the Conservation District. The original design was a little bit smaller than what we wanted to do, so it wasn't accommodating all different sports lines. It was kind of more on the smaller side, and in order to make these, used for not just youth soccer, but regulation soccer size and things like that. We have to expand it, and because we're expanding the sizes, that wasn't included in our NPDES permit. So a little bit more drainage design has to be done, go back to the Conservation District for modification with hope of construction spring next year.
That's why it's all up by the new fields. That's why everything has stopped.
No. This is the multi-purpose field. So turfing the fields, the soccer, lacrosse fields below the Rotary Pavilion.
Oh.
Yeah. Ball fields are on track. This is different fields. Just to fill you in, if you recall, back in December, you made a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners for 3 individuals of the Athletic Association to kind of review the bylaws and then update it. Unfortunately, one of the members we haven't heard back from him. So we replaced him with another individual. They're from the Soccer Association, so it's on track, but we had to kind of get that taken care of. So they're still on track. They know the schedule. Hopes to get kind of recommendations to you guys by maybe next month, for you then to make a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners so they can get the new bylaws passed by the end of the year. Yeah. The trail project is still on track. For when I say trails, the main one along Recreation Road, still on track. That was with funding through PennDOT, so there's has to be a lot of coordination with them, but it's on track, as well as the nature trails up along all there. Kind of still hoping to get that, design and all that completed by the end of the year to go to construction early spring.
Okay, I have
Yeah, you gotta hit your button.
I have a couple of questions
Sure.
regarding the trails.
Sure.
I was walking in that area, and I noticed a pink flag, which indicates, the paths, so to speak. And then it looks like it breaks downward, and I would assume towards Mayview Road. Is that correct? Do you know? I mean, I live.
I had the drawings on the agenda last month, and you
Yes.
guys all recommended and approved them.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yes.
know particularly where you're talking
Okay,
about.
I live at the foot, if you are standing at the highest point of clear land, in what used to be where the dogs would run
Oh, yeah, yes,
freely.
yes.
And then if you go down, you're right into Lakemont Farms.
Yes.
My home is right there,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I'm just wondering, and I know we have discussed the trails, but I don't have it in my mind as to how far the trail is coming down towards Lakemont Farms.
I think the property line is what the plans had, and there's kind of already a lot of the trails were based on what's kind of already existing of what's mowed or made.
Yes,
So I think
yes.
hopefully I'm answering your question, to the township property line.
To the township property line for the residents along Gina Lane, that would be down to almost in our yards end abruptly.
Correct.
And very short, and then township property begins.
Yeah.
Now, some people have opted to maintain parcels of land that are township owned. I was just trying to get in my mind exactly how far they're coming right down to our
I
lines.
believe so, yes.
Wow, okay. I'm trying to envision that. I know you have the switchbacks, correct, that are in that area.
Yeah, the best thing to do is probably just find what I shared
Yes,
last month and take it
yes.
with you up there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think try to us picture it, it's not
Okay.
going to work very
Okay.
well.
It's on the Facebook.
I'm not
Lakemont
on
Farms.
Facebook.
If you go back to the agenda from last month or 2
Yes.
months, it's on the agenda.
Okay.
Because I shared it here with you guys.
And so if I look at that and scrutinize it, I should be able to ascertain exactly how far down they go.
Yep.
But in your estimation, it's all the way down to the property
I
lines?
believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, that means I'm going to just voice a slight concern about that because the property lines aren't large and they're not long parcels of land in the back. So literally, if I'm sitting on my deck, then there could be a path that is about 30 feet to 40 feet away. Is that what you're saying?
I would have to go up and actually
Okay.
see it.
Okay, well, I'm going to look at that, and then if I'm still not positive, perhaps I could make an appointment with you, and we could meet, and you could
Yeah, and I'd probably
approximately tell me where
yeah.
it's going to be.
Yep. 'Cause
Okay.
based on the drawings, we could even have the engineer go out and flag it or stake it.
That would
Yeah.
be wonderful because there's no indication whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I've had some Lakemont Farms residents ask me that are right along there, and I was really kind of guessing. I'm not exactly
Yeah.
sure because I've seen the pink flags everywhere, but they've not been down. The closest one has been the one that I referred to when
Yeah,
I.
and the pink flags might not necessarily be for the trail either. It could also be for PA1 calls or utilities and things
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah, so I don't quite
So
reference
what
you're.
indicates the trail then? When I saw all those pink
There is no
flags.
indication of the trail.
Usually, if there's going to be any indication on a trail, it'll be ribbons on trees.
On trees and
Yeah, and
not
it's still in design
necessarily on a
phase, so
stick.
it's not finalized yet, which is probably
Yeah.
another reason why there is no.
Oh, it's not finalized yet. Okay. And that's good to know too. And I have seen ribbons on trees up there.
Yeah.
I have. But then I've seen the little pink kind of small, I don't know what it is, but I've seen that
Everybody has
indicated
to
too.
be, and you probably too, what those pink things are for.
Yeah, okay.
They're
We're
everywhere.
Yeah, there's
just
for
gonna,
multiple things,
what
so.
we'll do is get further clarification then after, I'll go back and look at it very carefully.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Community Day is coming up on the 23rd. We are looking for golf cart drivers if anyone's interested. So we're adding 2 more shuttles. So we need, and the school's only giving us, okay, sounds good. Looking for 1 more.
Are you needing me for
Traffic
morning
control, yes.
setup in the morning again? Okay.
Yep.
I kind of look forward to it at this
Yeah.
point.
Authoritarian. Yep. That is all
I
I.
think I'm signed up to work the booth, so you can take me off.
Okay.
that for-
Ian did ask me today, so I'll let him know, Deb.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right. That's all I had for kind of director's report.
Old business, community center, any update?
I have no update other than what we spoke with some board members last week, or last month.
Give them maybe next month or so. I'll reach out to kind of that crew and see if they get any feedback.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
5:15. Any update? I've seen some posts on Facebook.
I personally haven't gotten any update. I believe they're kind of finalizing design and to go to like construction. Oh, to go to construction, but that's the latest update that I've had. Yeah. I got some things for new business.
All right, new business.
Or just like discussion.
One other comment, and this is regarding the hill directly, leading up to the top. There are frequent children on electric scooters and e-bikes. And they're just cutting through yards, is what they're doing, and going all the way up. And then on several occasions, they come down and it's totally dark. Are there any guidelines for that?
You guys, you guys already recommended that. That was 2 months ago to the Board of Commissioners. They, last month voted to advertise the ordinance, and it will be, this month they'll be advertising the ordinance. The solicitor's been taking a look at it, so it will be on the agenda to advertise the ordinance. Yeah.
Okay,
So you guys gave input onto that policy.
yes, okay.
There's a new number the chief of police gave. It's a non-911 number that you can call if you're concerned about calling 911 for a non-emergency. I have that number and I'll
Yeah,
share
that's
it.
the non-emergency number. Just note though, I think it's business hours.
It's all right.
It's Monday through Friday.
Oh, he didn't
only.
tell us that.
Yeah, it's the non-emergency number, yeah.
Because I gave it to you, Barb, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so Monday through Friday, I believe 8 to 4 p.m.
That was a minor detail.
Because that's slightly problematic. That's slightly problematic with, the people, and I'm not seeing many people at all anymore running their dogs up in that area. A lot of people seem to be really adhering to the rules. However, every now and then, you see someone who is not listening.
Yeah, and the police are aware of the ordinance that's coming. So if you do see it and have concerns, either non-emergency number if it's during the day, or, just call the
Yeah,
police.
because it's on, if it's on the weekend, so, okay, thank you.
Still new business.
Or open discussion, whatever one we want to do. So at the board meeting last month, there was a few individuals that came to talk about tennis. It was I believe a tennis coach, a student that plays tennis, and a representative from the USTA. So they brought up that, they're looking for more tennis courts in the area, and the board's asking for feedback on some ideas. One of the ideas that they had was Trevescan Park. If you guys are not familiar where that is, it's up off of Morgan Hill. There's nothing there. It's kind of vacant land with like a road that drives through it. In the park master plan, it was suggested for more pavilion, horseshoes, sand volleyball, more of your like passive recreation. So just kind of wanted to bring it up to this board. A few other things to keep in mind is I believe in the school plans, they are going to be building multiple courts in the near future. I don't know what the near future is, but they are building courts. I believe Wembley Center's coming in with a focus on tennis. So just some things to think about, but just wanted to.
Doesn't seem like the best use of that space, in my opinion.
What, at Trevescan?
Trevescan.
Yeah.
Where is it again?
It's,
Old projects.
yeah, well, that's what they was referenced years ago. But it's off of, I think I'm saying it right, Morgan Hill, and it's kind of through a neighborhood, quite a few rundown houses, couple abandoned to get there, very windy, like it sits back. Yeah.
Like above the old community center, up the hill, but closer towards the school.
Yeah, like if you
you're
go
kinda
to
going up the ridge.
McClellan's and right at that kind of wide, McClellan's kind of do a sharp turn up.
I went there now.
Yeah. So
It's one-way traffic around it. It's graded, which is nice, but
it's still kind of rolly.
yeah,
Yeah.
part of it's graded.
Yeah.
It has curbs.
I do
It-
notice that the tennis courts at Fairview are always busy.
Yeah, and we're gonna get those resurfaced sometime this year. I'm waiting for the contractor. If it is something that we're interested in exploring, my recommendations would be a park where we already have utilities. Because if you did Trevescan Park, that would be a large undertaking because there's nothing there. You probably want to do a large scale project because you'd have to do parking, utilities, the courts themselves. So I think it would be a larger project than kind of what, where we just invested in restrooms at Preservation and Boys Home. We invested in parking at Boys Home. So if it is really something that we think that the community, wants, there's other areas to explore, but just wanted to get your feedback.
In my opinion, Boys Home is the least disruptive of all the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Just especially there's like a flattened out area towards the back, and that I think that would be, the houses wouldn't hear that, and they put that new parking lot in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of nice space for it. Or preservation, obviously, same applies.
Do we think it's a priority at this time, or do we think there's other projects that are currently a priority?
If the school's got a plan to put in tennis courts, seems like the school's gonna be moving on that faster than we probably would be able to, in my opinion.
Should we be looking at combination tennis pickleball courts?
That's always an option. So our courts down at Morgan have that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the ones at Fairview will not be able to do pickleball lines because there is grant funding involved with that. And so when you get grant funding through the USTA, which is United States Tennis Association, stipulations you cannot put pickleball lines on. So if we would want to go get grant funding for these courts, it would have to be tennis only. If we want to do tennis and pickleball, it would probably be on our own, and we have to explore, or explore grant funding in a different avenue.
As Barb was stating about the increased use of the tennis courts, they seem to almost always be busy, and it's wonderful. I mean, I really enjoy the fact that they're taking advantage of it. So we need what we have, and whether or not we can add anything there easily because of the existing tennis courts, I don't know if that can be explored.
I don't recommend Fairview Park. The reason is we're already also built out in as it is. We're just continue to try to squeeze things in there. A lot of sporting activities with parking. my recommendation would be Boys Home or Preservation Park if we think it's a priority at this time. But if it's not a priority at this time, but
Well, in old surveys, and I remember hearing parents scream about tennis, but I haven't heard that recently.
yeah, so they came, the reason why they came to the board meeting is, they are leaving the school, the students, so the tennis teams are leaving the township for practice. But I believe the school district is aware of that, and that with their new addition, the new school that they're building in their big construction project, they are looking to build, don't quote me on this, 6 to 8 courts, because to do for high school, you have to have a minimum of 6. So, I believe that the need for it is coming from student players, that once the school gets them, are they really as needed as they are now? We can explore even like 1 or 2 down at Boys Home. As for Jason mentioned that really nice flat area down there, and have courts on that side of the township, which would be really nice because we only have them on this side by Morgan and Fairview. So that could definitely be a possibility. I know roughly how much a court costs, but it would still be a pretty big capital project.
And the residents should be able to take advantage of
Absolutely.
the school tennis courts.
Oh, I can't speak on that.
I know that.
That would be
I know.
the school's.
But when you think about it, there are people who walk the football track. There's a lot of activity at the school. I would think people might be able to use it, but maybe we can find out about that because that's such a good location that could take care of everything.
Right, that would be up to the school
Yeah.
district. I know,
Okay.
Public used to be able to use the pool. I don't think they can use it anymore, really. So that would all be the school district. I'm just saying, like whatever, like public use on the campus. That's all up to the school. I don't.
I would think that they would be relatively receptive to that as long as people are respectful. But there's a security issue. I don't know about that, Really?
Well, we haven't had a lot of success in the past. I'm not optimistic.
Well,
Should be.
yeah.
It's tax dollars. But
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking, are we looking to, as we're getting ready to put in money for, or like budget for the capital, is this something that we want to see in 2026 or further down kind of the road?
I'd put it as tertiary unless you're looking to make it multi-uses in pickleball and tennis.
For next year, in the 5-year, like further down?
I would say with me personally, I'd say within the 5-year, but if
Okay.
the commissioners are interested in finding a way to move that forward, then
Okay.
put that
Sounds
on
good.
them.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good direction. Thank you. Also just kind of want to, short open discussion, on the splash pad. There's been a lot of, comment on, the operation of it. Wanted to get some feedback. I can kind of tell you some this year. I've gotten some complaints, particularly from rentals, just because the construction's right there around it. So this year is really not a good year to really figure out what the splash pad area looks like. Because of the construction. There's been some talk, a few people mentioning charging at the splash pad in the future, limiting it to residents. Just kind of want to open discussion, and if you guys want to hear my opinions or my thoughts on some things, I'd be happy to mention those. Sure. So I just spoke with Peters Township, just opened theirs last week, and I actually went and saw them before they opened, and for it, limiting to or charging, I think there's different ways to go about it rather than charging for daily attendance. So right now we do just one rental on the side of the pavilion. And the reason we do that is because all our other pavilions are only one rental a day because we don't really have the staff to go in, clean up afterwards and things like that. Where that side of the pavilion, we could probably do, like Peters is doing 2 or 3 rentals a day with like a half an hour in between where they can go in. And the fact that we have staff there, it'd be a lot easier at that pavilion to do multiple rentals a day. And really, the people are renting it. It's for little kids' birthday parties. Some people are calling like, I only want it for a couple hours. I don't need it all day, so I don't really want to pay that for all day. So I think a really good way to maybe go is to, focus on rentals and try to boost up the revenue of rentals. Because we do have the staff there that can help and manage those. So that's one idea. And I think to continue to monitor and see how things work next year after the ball fields are there and the grass is kind of planted. It kind of, it might feel constrained right now because there's construction fence like all the way up to pretty much the edge of like the splash pad area. So those are kind of some things. I lost my train of thought.
I remember in the spring when you discussed the fact that it was not going to be pretty up there.
Right.
So we knew what to expect, and I think you had referred to dust and with all of the vehicles and machinery. So are there any other complaints? I mean, I understand that component, but that's a temporary inconvenience
Right.
for a permanent
I personally
improvement.
haven't heard any complaints, and I've actually seen really positive feedback on like other Facebook page posts. There's a local mom blogger that went around to all the different splash pads in the whole Pittsburgh region, and there's 24. All of them but 2 charge. So splash pads are really kind of a public amenity, for the public to enjoy. And the ones that are charged were designed to be more of aquatic facilities like Peters. Like they were designed to have an entrance, exit, things like that. And ours is probably 3 or 4 times smaller than that. So that's just some of my insight. Complaints, not really. Majority is the rentals and just them not thinking that they would have like a grass area to kind of overflow from the pavilion. So that's pretty much the only complaints that I've received.
Is there a specified age to use the splash pad, or if there isn't, should there be?
It's for 12 and under.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, adults stand on it and everything like that. And,
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing, if we can explore, if we want to do multiple rentals a day, is rentals could be limited to residents. If there is concerns of who's using it, I would be afraid to not allow any residents, especially with those ball fields coming in with teams are going to be coming, so you're going to not allow a away team to use the splash pad. Or I have a friend from another community. I'm going, but I want to bring it. Just logistics seem very complicated to me. But like I said, I would want to, see how next year goes too, whenever it's all built out. Because we're in a limbo period right now.
I think we wait and see.
I agree, wait and
Yeah.
see.
Many families, of course, attend the baseball, softball games, and there's a lot of little ones running around, and that would be an enticement for them, to take them over there. So I think you're really going to have to make a decision about that issue, because there could be a flood of use, and in particular when there's a game going on.
Well, the water shuts off after Labor Day.
Right.
Pardon me?
Spring and fall, there won't be
Yes.
splash pad open.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yes, that's correct.
I'd add on the rentals, maybe if, have a surcharge or a discount for residents.
It is. So residents have a cheaper rate. There's a
Great.
resident rate and a
Perfect.
non-resident rate.
If the residents are having trouble getting, reserving it as they want, then you can up the non-resident rate. But
Yeah,
I think the
I haven't
multi-hours.
gotten any complaints. The only complaint about like rentals is like some people like, oh, I'm just doing a 1-year-old birthday party. I don't need it all day. So I think if we do kind of change the rental options, I think we're really accommodating like what people are looking for.
I like that idea.
Up
Yeah, I
there.
do too.
So
agree.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the board will want to take it in a different direction. So I don't know if there's something that you guys can do. I know I've just been tasked with kind of doing some research and.
I mean, it's getting used, right? It's getting, nobody's complaining about it.
Getting used, it's crowded.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
it
good.
is
That's
crowded.
good. But that's the
Yes.
intention, right? The intention is to have a place for people to kind of congregate and kids that congregate. Doesn't seem like there's any issues that have had, that have been escalated to local law enforcement or anything like that. So that's always a positive. But I think, if you can open up the rental ability of it and get more rentals in, it helps pay for the staff and it helps the operating costs.
And as with anything that's new, like,
Go ahead, Deb.
I think that making a statement from the board saying that we believe that this is a community amenity, and we shouldn't be charging individuals to use the splash pad, that revenue will that we're looking at revenue coming from the rentals. Make that statement so that people understand that we believe that that should be a community amenity.
And two, I'd have to look into, that was grant funding involved with that. I don't know if there's restrictions of what we're allowed.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the charging everybody for it. I think it sounds just like additional bookkeeping for somebody.
It would be chaos.
Yeah.
It would.
Sounds good.
Put wristbands on.
But moving forward,
Tiny humans.
moving in forward to the
But
budget
the idea-
season, I'll try to figure out like what the rentals were and make a estimated guess of like doing multiple rentals a day would bring in, and then kind of make those changes. I mean, I have to look how I might not be able to do this like for next year actually, because I take rentals a year in advance. So I might already have rentals like all day, but I wouldn't be able to, take that away from them. So I have to look into that. Like maybe we'll say like starting August 2026 or something. I have to go back in and see
Well,
what rentals I already have.
You could change the policy. It just doesn't affect anybody who currently has a rental.
Yeah, yes. So if we want to go that route, we'd have to like soon. I would have to have update once again the parks rules to you guys, and then the fees and everything. So it's still going to take a little bit. If you want me to do that, I'd be happy to prepare that for next month, and then maybe that could be a recommendation to the board where you also make the statement like, here's our recommendations, kind of thing.
I think the residents would really appreciate if they were able to rent it for 2 or 3 hours, and
Yeah, so they're already able to rent it now.
yeah, but it's all day long.
Correct. And some,
Yeah.
some people really do like that. But I've found that it's been, the Rotary Pavilion is more for your graduation parties where they need to get in early to set up, and they like the all day, where the Splash Pad Pavilion is more get in there, have pizza for a kid's birthday party,
Yeah.
kind of out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Paula, I think you should go forward with writing up those changes and present them to us for our next meeting.
okay, sounds
Yeah,
good.
I do too. Yeah. Okay.
That's all I had.
All right. Open discussion. Any other items in that area?
I think you have to hit a button.
Do what?
Speak into it. See if it works.
Okay, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're saying renting, are they reserving a time or are they paying for some time? I didn't understand what that was.
They're renting a pavilion, so you're paying to have exclusive exclusive use of the pavilion.
You pay for the pavilion.
Not the splash pad. And the splash pad remains open to the public even when there's a pavilion
But
rental.
they can use it if they're renting the,
Yep.
I didn't understand it. Okay.
Okay. No other open discussion. Can move to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Got multiples of both. All right. It's 6:37.